can sit in whatever order you want, Conor. Whatever order you want. We will get started with our post-practice Fast Friday press conference, joined now by Fernando Alonso, driver of the number 66 McLaren Racing Chevrolet, Conor Daly, driver of the number 25 United States Air Force Honda, 2003 Indianapolis 500 champion Gil de Ferran, and sporting director for McLaren Racing. Fernando, we'll go ahead and start with you, closest to me. You got to run, I believe I saw the number was 77 laps today, a good number of laps, more than most of the other drivers. After a challenging past couple of days, what did you feel from the car and throughout this Fast Friday practice?
Well, yeah, it was a positive day for us, and we were able to put the car on track and and try different directions on the setup and learn a little bit about the track and the day. Obviously, the boost was up today, so the speeds were higher, and it was more a quali preparation than race setups. But we had a lot of new tires from the last couple of days, so we were able to do a lot of runs, and hopefully that information will give us tomorrow a little bit of confidence into qualifying.
I like that positive thinking. New tires. You had fresh tires. I like that.
Marco Andretti will not stop FaceTiming me. I'm trying to do something. I'm trying to take a nice little Instagram story, and he will not stop calling me.
Answer it. We'll let him join the press conference. He has to participate, though.
Look.
Marco, we're hooking you up to a microphone.
I'm trying to take an Instagram story.
You have any questions for Marco?
Marco, second fastest in practice today. How'd the car feel?
Second fastest. How you feel? You can talk.
I gotta go, guys.
Okay.
This guy.
Right on cue. Gil, you're an Indianapolis 500 champion. You've been through the ups and downs of the month of May. Your role as sporting director on the team, how have you been advising them throughout this process?
Well, I think we've been going through everything together, the whole team. Although I think you heard me say that before, that individually we all have there's a lot of guys with experience. I think as a crew, we're very new together. Obviously we have to step through things very calmly, very slowly, in a very determined manner. And today was actually all about that. We had a nice, clean day. As Fernando said, we had a lot of tires. We were working through changes in the setup and slowly trying to trim out the car towards the latter half of the day. But I think in the situation we find ourselves, it's important to stay calm and continue to improve the car little by little.
Conor, also a nice clean day for you, fastest on Fast Friday here today. You're racing for Andretti Autosport, which I believe has captured 3 of the last 5 Indianapolis 500 wins. Going into qualifying this weekend, how do you feel about the speed, just the sheer speed that's in the car?
I mean, I'm just super thankful to be here. I mean, honestly, it's incredible to be a part of this team. Obviously, super successful here. The U.S. Air Force are the only, that's the group that made it happen for me, and that's awesome. So we've just been working away at it. I mean, it's certainly, it's certainly interesting tomorrow to see what's going to happen. I think, no-toe wise, everyone's closer than we expected. Really, manufacturer wise, I think there's a little bit of a difference there for sure, but the Honda guys are working super hard, and I've been super happy with my group and our engine and our car. I mean, we're just step by step, one change at a time, trying to make this thing go as fast as possible, and we'll see what happens tomorrow, obviously.
Absolutely. We'll open up for questions. Bruce?
One for Fernando and one for Gil. Was Thursday probably the most frustrating day for you because it was a day where you expected to get out, and then every other little problem started to happen with the car? For Fernando.
It was, yeah, definitely. I cannot lie to you. I was changed at 11. I was with a red suit, and I was supposed to be out at that time. Then it was supposed to be at 1, then 2:30, then 4, and then it rained. So yeah, it was frustrating, but nothing we could do at that point. Just getting ready for today, and having that extra time to check everything and to be ready. So it was frustrating, but at the same time, as I said before, we saved a lot of tires that we were able to set up the car today maybe in a more in a better way. And also the track keep changing every day. You know, the temperature is completely different today, tomorrow than Tuesday, Wednesday, and things like that. So maybe things that you learn on Tuesday, Wednesday, they are not necessarily good for the race week. So, you know, I think in a way it was not too compromised, you know, the performance of the car or how we felt. But yeah, more laps you do, better it is. So hopefully in the next couple of days we can run more.
And for Gil, I've known you a long time, and yesterday about 3:30, 4 o'clock, you were walking through Gasoline Alley, and the look on your face was like you had the weight of the world on your shoulders. How difficult was it yesterday? Because it almost seemed like Groundhog Day for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, certainly I think yesterday, as you said, it was a difficult day for everyone. You know, like I said earlier, we're a new crew. We respect this place a lot. So we wanted to make sure that we put the car together the best way, possible. Obviously, that took longer than we expected. And I guess, you know, having been here before, I was very aware of the importance of being out on the racetrack, both from Fernando's perspective and for the development of the car. So, you know, but like I said earlier, even under those circumstances, I also know it's very important to keep your cool, you know, so that, you know, you don't make bad decisions going forward. Sometimes you can't affect certain things, and you got to make sure that you got your game head on when things are ready to go. So that's what we tried to do last night. You know, obviously, as Fernando said, it was first frustrating for everyone. But, you know, today we got back together. Fernando did a great job. The crew did a good job. You know, we're stepping through it and getting better together. Three? Oh, my God.
Number one, when you look into the colorful history of McLaren racing, F1, IndyCar, Can-Am, et cetera, they always build their own cars. Now it's different. You have a spec chassis. How long in advance was a chassis delivered to your headquarters in England, and did you work with Dallara to understand the technology?
Well, I don't recall exactly the date. To be honest, we had the car, and you know, like I said earlier, we had a few guys in the crew that have done IndyCar before. Dallara was very helpful throughout, but still, there's, you know, a lot of things that we had to learn, and we're still learning. You know, certainly. You know, not being a team that does this full time, we're in a very steep learning curve, despite all the support that we've been getting from many different places.
You mentioned your team, that you're relatively new. The crew for Fernando here in Indianapolis, the majority, are they coming from the Formula One world, from McLaren?
Actually, it's a bit of a mixture. You know, there's a lot of guys that came from McLaren in the UK. You know, some guys from here. So it's a little bit of a mixture. And then, like I said, frankly, it's kind of normal. You know, for a team to learn to work with each other and get used to the car and being trackside and so on and so forth. So. I guess in my view, we're going through the normal process of gelling the team together.
The last one, what will happen after the Indy 500 with the cars when they go back to England? What you will do with the car, Team McLaren with the car?
We haven't made that decision yet.
Fernando, this is a little off topic, but I'm wondering if you enjoyed talking to Johnny Rutherford and having him in your pit?
Yes. Yeah. Well, he doesn't talk much, but it's always interesting, you know, to hear what he says and his recommendations. I think maybe the cars he drove, they are not maybe behaving the same as we have now in terms of aerodynamics and traffic management. But, you know, he's obviously a very experienced driver, and he's trying to help as much as he can. And, yeah, I'm enjoying having him on board.
Jenna?
Hey, Conor, last year
Hey.
you really, hey.
I'm still here.
You are still here. You struggled last year today.
Yep.
And you were the last row and had to go to the party, and that was all terrible. So how good does today feel?
I mean, honestly, I almost shed a little tear in my helmet at the end there, just because my dad and my mom were there, and I love this place. I mean, heck, I took pictures with Gil when he won when I was an infant. It felt like. Very small boy, a little pudgy, pre-diabetes, all that stuff, and I took pictures with him here too. Geez, wow. But yeah, right. I love it here, and I've always worked so hard to try and have the best chance that we've had with what I've been driving, and definitely have made mistakes here. Definitely have had a lot of bad luck here. But I still love it. I love driving every lap, and this week has gone a lot better, I think, than we've shown on the timesheets. And so today was definitely a reward for the guys. Really, I think they worked so hard. I mean, I've done more laps in these last few days than I think I've ever done on practice days, just getting ready. And I mean, that helps. Every lap here helps, and we're gonna keep at it. I mean, tomorrow we obviously. It depends on where we draw. It depends on where we go. Temperature is literally controlling, you know, almost half to a mile an hour worth of speed, you know, depending on when you go out. So I'll be really curious to see where we draw. But, I mean, either way, we're just, you know, super happy. I'm super happy. I think the team is too.
Fernando, I think we heard you complaining about understeer issues, and I wondered if there was on the radio, and I wondered if you attempted at all to you know, trim out a bit more and equalise the car a bit more, or how much today was just confidence building after, you know, missing action in the last day and a half.
No, it was more about setup of the car, not necessarily on the trimming or on the aerodynamic side. Also, sometimes you can you should solve all the problems on the mechanical side. Once you are happy with the car, maybe you start trimming it a little bit more. So, yeah, we work a lot on the mechanical grip, and we found a better direction through the day than what we started. So, yeah, we need to look through the data tonight and hopefully have a even better starting point tomorrow. There is only one shot, so yeah, let's try to make it right.
On the no-toe rankings, I think you're 30th or 31st. Are you worried at all about qualifying?
I am, yes, I do. I think it's the same for everyone. I think tomorrow, as Conor said now, I think the pickup order and when you will do the run is going to be a big factor if it's a hot day. So, yeah. If we are in the wrong moment of the day, which it seems that the luck will put us on that moment this week.
I drew first, by the way. I just found out. So it's wild.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
So sorry. Yeah, someone just tweeted me. Did I draw first to go? Yikes. All right.
Good.
Well, we'll see.
So yeah,
good,
it is. Let's see how it goes tomorrow. But yeah, there is nothing guaranteed. But I think it's the same for everyone. You know, we saw also last year that surprises can happen, and hopefully tomorrow we are a good surprise and not a bad surprise.
Thank you.
We'll go George, Mary, and then we'll wrap up with Jim.
Connor,
Yeah.
when you put this deal together with the Andretti's, what was your first emotions like when you found out this all came together and you were going to be driving one of the Andretti cars?
Well, my mom was crying. It was 2 days before. It was December 18th, 3 days after my birthday, and I was just going over for a little, pre-Christmasing, and it was pretty cool to realize We've been working on it for a couple months, and honestly, I've been working with Doug Bresnahan and Michael Andretti and JF for like years, since like 2014, to try and be a part of the team somehow. But it's always been sponsor dependent, right? It takes funding to go racing. So I haven't quite fit in yet, and then this was the perfect opportunity. So Michael's on my stand. It's been awesome to have him and learn from him a little bit. He's obviously got an incredible amount of experience here, and he's an incredibly talented driver. So just super happy with my group in general, and just just honored to be a part of the team.
To go forward, do you feel you have to win this race or maybe finish in the top 5?
Well, everyone keeps telling me all you have to do is win Indy, and everything is easy from then on. So I was like, all right.
That's not true, by the way.
Okay, all right. Yeah, fair point. I don't know. You look pretty good, man. It's all good. I mean, honestly, I've gone into this thinking that, there's no other result other than winning. I mean, I think prize money-wise, I could maybe do more races if we finish in the top 3, maybe. But that's my only goal, is I want to be more. I want to be here more. I mean, I want to do more races for this team. I want to be a part of this environment for a long time. That's what we said going into this, and that's what we're going to continue to try and do. But it's business, and we're going to keep trying to add those business building blocks to make it happen, and hopefully a trophy.
Mary, and then we'll wrap up with Jim.
I have a question for Fernando and also for Conor. Fernando, you were here 2 years ago, different car. Now we have the Universal Aero Kit, which is less downforce. And in a press conference this morning with the Penske team, Rick Mears said his philosophy is more horsepower, less downforce to make the cars harder to drive. How have you adapted to this car, and how do you feel compared to last 2 years ago's car versus this one?
Well, I didn't have enough laps probably to really comment on this, especially on traffic. I think today didn't feel too bad compared to 2017 Fast Friday, let's say. So qualifying, I think the cars are light in general, and the downforce you feel always low with whatever package you put on the car. I think on traffic, what I heard is that it's much more challenging now than 2017. So yeah, as long as it's the same for everyone, it makes a good show. And if the direction is this one, what IndyCar is taking for the future, and more horsepower or whatever, maybe, yeah, you see a better show. As long as you can follow somehow, which I think is quite important at the end of the day, because you can remove the downforce, but if you cannot follow closely, you miss the action and you miss the overtakings on the race. So you need to be able to follow to a certain point to have a good show. So hopefully they take in account that.
And then Conor, you're now with the Andretti team. You've had a number of opportunities here at Indianapolis, and I think they caught on the NBC Gold broadcast your statement as you pulled in off after practice the first day. I don't remember what it was, but it was like the way you described it, it was like, this is wonderful, or I've never had a car like this. So could you elaborate on what it's like now, the kind of car that you have at Andretti versus what you've experienced in the past?
Well, I'm always super honest, and I'll be honest with you, there are many times where I've suited up in the past few years and I'm like, whew, I have no idea what's going to happen. And you just hope that, you make the right choices and decisions on the setup. And, I think we obviously know that Andretti has an incredible amount of resources. They've built a strong team. They've got, smart people here, smart people back at the shop still working on stuff. Just incredible people in general. And they've been there for a while, you know what I mean? So it's not like people are in and out of there. There's a lot of strong people that have been there for a long time, and they know how to, make these cars work. And their development is something that I've loved to be a part of. And yeah, honestly, it's been so much fun to drive. Traffic, it's a little sketchy, but it's sketchy for everyone. But last year it was sketchy, and I was like being left behind, and it was just. And now it's sketchy, and you're in the fun, you're in the hunt. So yeah, it's obviously going to be a tough race, I think, for everyone unless you're leading. But yeah, the car has been really enjoyable to drive, and I've talked to my old pal Joseph Newgarden quite a lot. He was in my bus last night. We were talking for like 40 minutes just about like. I was like, so how does it really feel in qualifying, like when you guys are going that fast? Like, because I've felt super sketchy, and I was doing 224 last year, or whatever we qualified at, and those guys have been at 230, and now today we've literally done like every single lap above 228 or something like that, and it feels great. So it's wild to think about how different things can be. I mean, you don't really think that it can be like that, and until it makes me appreciate, I guess, this opportunity even more, for sure.
Conor, I was just going to ask, you said you got the news. What's going first tomorrow? What's the reaction there?
I don't know. Is that good? All right, I'll take it. Yep, that's good. That's good. We'll take that.
Well done today, man.
Oh,
Well, good
thanks,
luck
man.
tomorrow.
Hey, thank you. You guys too. We'll see what happens. I mean, I hope it's nice and cool, 65 degrees, no wind, and full power. We'll see.
Good job, man.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. Shout out to
you
Marco
guys.
Andretti
you.
for joining us as well. Good luck tomorrow.